be to God. Alleluia. Amen. Oh, we have quite a collection up here this morning, Sandra. Goodness gracious. All righty. Good morning.
Good morning.
Are you back?
Yeah.
And you're probably wondering, is she back? Where did she go? I am back, and it's lovely to be with you this morning, as always. This is our first Sunday in November, the month of Thanksgiving, or so we call it in our culture. And we look forward to Thanksgiving holiday, usually most of us do, at the end of the month. And it is at the beginning of the month that we begin to turn our thoughts to what we call the holidays. And sometimes I find myself lumping Thanksgiving and Christmas into one continuous holiday. And I don't like to do that. I find myself not understanding or valuing, maybe precisely, the significance of both of those times. So this morning I wanted to, and we will for this month of November, concentrate on gratitude and thanksgiving. And the reason I'm bringing up gratitude and thanksgiving, especially gratitude, is I think that those are words that we throw around that have kind of an umbrella to them, where we all say, yeah, I know what they are. I'm a grateful person. I give thanksgiving. The challenge this morning is, and what I'd like us to look at as we co-create is, do you have this, as we like to refer to it, attitude of gratitude 365 days of the year? And most of us, I think, would respond with, well, I think so. I think for the most part, I'm a grateful person. What I'm looking for this morning is for you to consider, not that you're a grateful person, you hear the tone of my voice. I'm asking you if you're proactively in gratitude 365 days of the year. That's a very different question than my asking you, do you think you're a grateful person? This is where we put the rubber to the road when it comes to Thanksgiving and expressing gratitude. And what I would like to drive home the point this morning about gratitude is a power. Gratitude is a tool in the toolbox that is extremely powerful if we but realize what true gratitude really is. When we are in gratitude, we have a sense of peace and freedom like no other. No one can take that from us. When we are in gratitude, and I say this, we have accepted and we have expected the gifts of spirit in our lives. Many of us don't walk around thinking in terms of life is a gift. We have a tendency sometimes to take life for granted. Think of the things in your life, think of the people in your life that you take for granted. You may say, well, I don't think I take people for granted. Now come on, search. Search. Do you take your very breath for granted? Some may say, well, yeah, that's how it works, right? We breathe in, we breathe out. Oh my gosh, that's a gift. When you say, yeah, we breathe in, we breathe out, you are taking the very breath of life for granted. There is no gratitude in that. There's what we call entitlement in that. Well, of course I came here, I breathe, I'm in good health, I work out, I eat well. Yeah, I'm entitled to do all that. I work hard for it. The breath of life is a gift. Is a gift. Are you accepting the gift? Are you expecting the gift? Or are you feeling quite entitled to the gift? Same thing goes for the many treasures we have in our lives. Same thing goes for the many people we have in our lives. Is there someone in your life that you just simply take for granted? It's there, supposed to be there, supposed to understand me, supposed to listen to my jokes, supposed to cry with me, supposed to love me. And in that very word, supposed to, is a sense of entitlement, is a sense of, that's just how it's supposed to work. What I'm asking you to do today is to take a look at what is it that's proactive about your gratitude. Do you bless your life? Do you bless yourself? Do you love yourself? You see, that's where it all begins, and we know that. It begins with self. Do you love yourself, or do you take yourself for granted? Oh, I just know that's how I'm going to be. I just know that's how I'll react to that. What we're doing this month is taking a look at what it means to be in gratitude, to live a life in gratitude. That's very different than a life that says, well, of course I'm a grateful person, because it's a proactive kind of gratitude. You are looking for ways to express your gratitude to yourself, to your God, and to the people in your life. And when we come from an attitude or a worldview of gratitude, nothing is taken for granted. Nothing. Even the most mundane things. This morning when we got up, did you wash your face? Did you take the warm water and the soap for granted? And some of you may be saying, where the heck is she going with this? Of course the soap is there. Of course the water is warm. Have you been in places where there is no warm water and there is no soap? You have an experience like that, and you probably will not take soap and warm water for granted again. But we do, and it's a simple, simple remembering 365 days a year to be in gratitude, to bless what we have, to focus on all the abundance in our lives, whether it be something as simple as water and soap, whether it be a spouse, whether it be a child, whether it be the fact that I'm a child of God and I'm whole and perfect right here and now. We do not take that for granted, do we? But some days we parrot that as though we take it for granted. It comes right off the end of the tongue. I'm asking you for ways to concentrate your appreciation for the expectation and the acceptance of the abundance in this universe, and concentrate on the abundance and not on the lack. We have spoken about this before, where 99% of our lives are good, but we tend to focus on that 1% that we don't have, wonder where it is, why it didn't happen, how come I don't have it. It's lack consciousness, and it is not something that we talk about enough, as far as I'm concerned, in Unity and New Thought. We slip into lack consciousness very easily. I don't have that, I can't do that, I'm not good enough for that. Gee, I wish I could. Gee, did you see how wonderful they have it over there? It's a lack consciousness, and you know, folks, we know this law. What you concentrate and focus on appreciates, and it works both ways. You want to focus and concentrate on lack and what we don't have, that's what you're going to get, more lack and what you don't have. Want to focus on what we do have, the abundance of life, the never-ending abundance of life. That's where the focus is and should be. And I say should, and most people don't like that when we say should. But if you want an abundant life, that's what you must focus on, the abundance in your life. And think of it truly as faith and trust that that abundance is there. And what is the ticket to getting to that abundance is understanding the concept of gratitude. Why? Because when you're in a state of gratitude, you cannot hold a thought of lack. When you're in a state of gratitude, you cannot be unhappy. Now, some are sitting there saying, watch me. And I'm saying, I doubt it. I'm saying that you can't, the mind can't hold two thoughts at the same time. We do a lot of thinking. We do a lot of thoughts going through the ticker tape. But you can't hold a thought of gratitude and be unhappy. When you say to yourself truthfully, I am grateful for my life. I am grateful for the people in my life. You see, think of it, say it to yourself. I'm grateful for my breath. I'm grateful. So come on, say it silently. I'm grateful for this sanctuary. I'm grateful for this church. There's no thought of lack. There's no room for a thought of lack. There can be no room for a thought of lack. If you were serious about living a life in gratitude, from a state of gratitude, the moment thoughts of doubt or fear, which are also thoughts of lack, come into your mind, start thinking and using the principle of mind action. And gather those positive thoughts of gratitude and utilize them to move your thinking from a lack consciousness of fear, of doubt, of I don't have, to the thinking and feeling of I am abundant. I have all the gifts in the universe given to me, and I am grateful. And now the question is, for some folks, well, you know, sometimes I can't do that all the time. No, I understand that. I can't do it all the time either. But what we're saying is, if you believe that you have an abundant life, if you believe that you are a child of God, an expression of the infinite, then, my friends, you have faith. You say, I'm not sure I have faith. I had a friend the other day who said to me, believe it or not, you know, I wish I had as much faith in my God as I do in my ATM machine. And I looked at her and I said, what are you talking about? And she said, no, I'm owning it. I'm just being straight with you. I go to the ATM, I know I'm getting money out. And I wanted to say, really? I've had my share of troubles at the ATM. And then I thought to her, as we like to say in Eye of the Storm, tell me more. Do I really want to know about this? And what she was expressing was that she didn't always have faith in her God. And she wished that she could be as sure and as trusting in the matter of heart, of faith, of the love of God, as she was sometimes that she was going to get her 20 bucks out of the ATM. It was startling to me that she had that kind of a comparison, but in many ways it made sense. Or think of yourselves, what is it that you go and do each day? For me, it happens to be, I put the gas nozzle in the tank and I expect gasoline to flow. I expect it. It's there. It's got to happen. Besides which, I paid for it. Have I got that same kind of trust and expectancy and affirmation and declaration and indignation about the God of my being? Trust me, if the gas didn't come out of the nozzle, I'd be in a heartbeat inside wanting to know where's the gas. So the question then becomes, as simple as it is, do you have the faith, do you have the trust to live in a constant state of gratitude? And I say to you, sometimes that pump needs to get primed because we don't always have that faith to live in a constant 24/7, 365 state of gratitude. And so you start small. And that's where when we say, I'm grateful for the many things in my life. I'm grateful for the soap and for the water. I'm grateful for the person sitting next to me. I'm just flat out grateful. Some people have gratitude journals. That's not quite what I'm talking about. Have yourself a gratitude journal. Every night, write down 10 things before you go to sleep that you're grateful for in that day. What I'm talking about is you're a walking, talking gratitude. You see it in everything. And some may say, but I don't see it in everything. All I'm saying is practice. It can help us bring ourselves up higher in consciousness to be in gratitude. Because when we're in gratitude, authentically, we are not in lack. We are in our abundance and we are expecting that abundance. In fact, we're close to demanding it. Remember Emma Curtis Hopkins, I said this to you, I've said it to you before. She says, show me the blessing. I demand to see it. That's what I'm talking about. The expectation, the demand, the proclamation. I know I'm a child of God and I know the blessing is here. So I want to close with this. I found this in the Unity magazine Matthew Fox's picture is on the front of it. And he quotes from Brother David Steindl-Rast, a Benedictine monk and an interfaith activist. He says, he defines gratefulness: the inner gesture of giving meaning to our life by receiving life as a gift. That's gratefulness. He writes and speaks often about being grateful and the importance of trusting life. The trust makes your heart feel wide open and free, he explains. The very opposite of those anxious feelings that make you clam up. Feelings that squeeze your chest together until you can hardly breathe. Times that challenge us physically, emotionally, and spiritually may make it almost impossible for us sometimes to feel grateful. Yet we can decide to live gratefully and courageously, open to life in all its fullness. He likens the experience to a ship in a dense fog that has to run on autopilot, reminding us that the fog will lift and that by continuing forward, we eventually will get out of the fog. Although many subscribe to the daily gratitude messages that Steindl-Rast puts forward, one of his very favorite talks is a TED Talk, and he says in this, "Want to be happy? Be grateful." That's the title of the talk. You want to be happy? Be grateful. How many times do we say, I'm just not feeling it today. Today's not good. It's raining. I don't feel good. And I'm not happy. Be grateful. You want to be happy? Be grateful. It's pretty darn simple when it's said like that. You want to change that kind of thinking? Be grateful. That's the ticket. And he ends up with this. If you're grateful, you act out of a sense of enough and not out of a sense of scarcity. He said during the talk, you are willing to share. You are enjoying the differences between people, and you are respectful to everybody, and that changes this power pyramid under which we live. You want to be happy? Be grateful. It sounds so simple. But one of the tickets is just blessing and being grateful for the many wonderful things that we have in life. All things. And don't take anyone or anything for granted.